Okay, here's a crazy topic that I might get some bad feedback on, but you know what? It's okay. It's always a controversial topic. A lot of real estate professionals, tend to be negative about real estate. Like, here's my perspective on this. There are different professionals in different fields. Like, you asked a survey guy right now, hey, how's the market treating you? What's going on? They're going to reflect on how their business is doing. They're not going to look at the market trends and analysis and all this stuff. Don't let one individual that has a single dimensional perspective dictate your decisions, right? And here's another big one. Realtors. I know so many realtors that, like, when a market goes, a market never is like this, okay? A market goes this and down and up and up and up and up. And there's all these different factors that persuade, the market or the trends or the demand or the buyers and so forth. But here's my perspective. As long as a market is moving, right, there's opportunity. Now, a lot of realtors that look at their sales and compare and say, okay, yeah, it's not as good as it was last year. Yeah, the market's not good. It's not doing so good. I mean, it's bullshit, right? So my intention for this, for you, is to understand that you cannot take advice from somebody that has one dimension, and you can't take advice from somebody that doesn't understand something completely. And I will add to that. Could they add some value based on their experience? Absolutely. And you know what? Dig a little deeper to find out what their experience is so that you can extract what that value is specifically related to what they are perceiving and what their outcome is that they are basing their perception off of. Again, if you ask an appraiser, if you ask a survey guy, if you ask a county official or a builder or a contractor, all these different things, like if you ask a dollar store owner, versus say a luxury boutique, right? Their world of people is different, right? Yes, there's absolutely times when one or the other will have higher demand, right? And there's maybe more of a conservative market where maybe versus, where people are spending a little bit more, okay? But every market in America is going to have trends, all right? And my perspective on this is always ask questions to those individuals, right? Always ask. I asked the Uber driver, hey, what's going on with the traffic, with the seasonal traffic? How are things? What are you seeing? What do you feel? Like, I asked the guy at the gas station, hey, how's it going? What's new? How's business? What are you seeing in the marketplace? You seeing a lot of new people? I mean, like, understand your local area that you're farming or that you're focused on, and whether you live in that area or not, you still go there and you ask these questions. Go to a bar, go to a Starbucks, go to, like, really, every single professional, go meet people, get a wide view, and then also ask, hey, what kind of opportunities you seeing out there? I mean, what do you think is a good business opportunity in this market? Like, what do you think would be a good type of buy for real estate? Or like, ask the questions that you need to understand specifically, right? So that you can just get people's perspective. And they say, oh, well, I don't know. And say, okay, well, do you know of somebody that maybe would have a good perspective on that? Do you know of somebody that maybe is an investor or a savvy investor? Do you know an experienced real estate person, right? Dig out those referrals so that you can create a database of people that you're able to collaborate with, so that the data that you have, right, might not be perfect, right, but it's essentially a mix of those people that you have chosen to listen to, or that you are collecting data from, and just make your own decisions based on some of that, right? But still go out and and seek and find and ask more questions. All right, that's number one. All right, that's the number one tip. Secondly, when you're looking for a market that is in a downswing or upswing in any way, like, right, regardless of the type of asset, like, you go in one market and industrial is crushing it, whereas you can go in another market, like, whereas residential is crushing it, and it could be, lopsided, right? So always look for the trends, always pay attention to what the demand is. And we've got a system to where we can see all the transactions. We track every transaction that's happening in the counties that we're active in. And so we see what the activity is, we see what the demand is. We find out, hey, is this a homeowner? This is an end user? Is this an investment fund? Like, who is buying what and where and why, right? So as long as the market is moving, there is opportunity. And let me tell you something, if you get comfortable by saying, okay, well, this is what I did, I had success, and oh, now the market's bad because I'm not having success, that's on you. All right? Don't let your one-dimensional perspective dictate your success in real estate, period. And don't let a one-dimensional perspective from another professional that is in one dimension, one area, one focus dictate your next move on the market. Listen to them, take it in, say, okay, why? Maybe ask around. Let's see if you're hearing the same thing. Is it a personal issue, or is it a actual problem within the market based on demand? And is that demand just different than what it was last year, or is there actually an issue where there's a correction? If there's a correction, that's not a bad thing, right? As long as there's activity in the market, you're still going to do good. In fact, the corrections are often, if you can show it and prove it, especially, you can use that to get better deals in the marketplace. You can use that to educate your sellers to either sell or to pay attention to what the market's doing, right? Now you have become an influence to them, and when they make their decision, regardless of what it is, they're going to come to you and they're going to appreciate you sharing the data that you are collecting. All right? My point in saying this, guys, is don't let the pessimism dictate your decisions. Use it. All right? Use it to the best you can at any time, every time, as a professional, as an investor, as somebody that needs to pay attention to this stuff. You must always be ready for the storm. All right? Don't over leverage on something. Don't go too deep unless you have a contingency plan, right? And if that contingency plan is solid, well then, you know what? You move. You know what the next move is. It's strictly a chess move. Okay, this is it. This is the result. Boom. Make the correction, right? Don't get hung up on, oh, well, it's not what it was, right? So you, on a consistent basis, be ready for the storm. All right, when you find a running lane, you run as hard as you fucking can. But know that running lane eventually is going to run out, all right? So then you got to look at another running lane. Stop focusing on how you're not happy about that outcome of a specific running lane, and start looking at another running lane, right? You got another way to look at it is like there's only so much juice you can squeeze out of some of these opportunities. All right? If you specialize in something, and you want to get out there and do really well with it, and all of a sudden things change, well, you've got to change with it. How can you capitalize on it? Why is it happening for me? What can I do to shift, right? Adapt, adjust, and execute on a consistent basis, guys. Be ready for the storm. It's always going to come, ebb and flow, not just storms in business, but storms in your life, right? So at the end of the day, we've always got to build up ourselves, build up our strength, build up our team, our influence, the people around us, so that when the storms do come in, you're able to shift. You're able to see it as an opportunity and shift. So my intention for you guys is to focus and accept the fact that there will be storms, there will be ebb and flow, there will be corrections, there will be ups and downs, there will be times where what you did before is not working, whether it's a marketing strategy or the type of people you hired or whatever it is, right? In our case, sometimes the mailer or sometimes the type of marketing or sometimes the demand, right? I mean, fall in love with change. Fall in love with the acceptance that you're going to grow from this storm. You're going to grow from this change. You're going to grow from the shift. And the people on your team is going to grow as well. And that's how you need to explain it. So you're not only your core team in business, but maybe your influence, maybe and share with people your experience in that. And that's one thing that I'm starting to do more. At the end of the day, the value that I learn from this is, exponential, revenue. Like if you can really learn how to adapt and shift and look at the market and understand it, and boom, the next day be on a mission that's going to help course correct you and build you up into this machine that cannot be stopped. Yeah, it can slow down, but it will not be stopped. So guys, make that decision. Be someone that knows how to face that storm and adapt and adjust and execute. Dominate your business. Dominate your life.